how to make an ad from other platform works on Seismic, right? So there are three things. So you can do it with Swiftly. I think that's very common in Vietnam when I see the agencies, right? A lot of you guys use Swiftly still, so it's fast and we does support Swiftly manually. But to make it work with ad builders, I'll go find out and then I'll keep you in the loop right in the email. Okay. So first is how to make Swiftly, how to import Swiftly into the platform, and also secondly is the Google Web Designer. And also Adobe Edge, right? So let's see one by one. Let's go to Swiftly first. So I had my Swiftly file, which I just converted, okay, like this. And first thing you have to do, right, the step. Okay, let me show you the steps slide. Before we go into the steps, okay, you need to create your ad with all your tools, Swiftly, Google Web Designer, Adobe Edge, whatever you want. Second step, you need to insert Seismic script, right, into your code. So there will be, majorly there will be two portions of your code that you need to insert. First is you have to include our EB loader, which is, EB stands for iBlaster, that's our formal name. Just to give you the history, right? Because most of the creative now they ask like, what is EB, Chris? EB is iBlaster. But because we used to be called iBlaster. So, but everything still called EB, right? So EB loader, which is to include Seismic script library in, and then you need to declare like all the click-through, video play. Then I'll go step by step, right, to this. So this is really important about there are two ways you can do it. If you want to download Seismic library, include it into your folder, right? Before you send to Mindshare, before you send to the creative, you can do that. So it would fix the HTTPS issues, okay? And another thing you can do is you can include Seismic library remotely. But then if your creative show, say if you include it at HTTP and then you go and run it at HTTPS, it will fail. Okay, so safest way is to, I think, download it, include it in your file, and include it locally. I'll show you the difference between local implementation and remote implementation, right? So this is the local implementation. You have the, I think the screen here. So for local, this is your HTML5 folder, right? If you use Google Web Designer and convert, then normally it comes with this and then the index file. So the ideal method is you have this folder script, and then you have Seismic script in EB loader and then script.js. So I'll email you the URL of this script later as well. So you include it in, and then in your file, right, you include the library as relative path, right? So it's scripts, EB loader, and this is other scripts, like you don't need this, you only need this. You only need this part. This is whatever script that you want to include is yourself, right? So for Seismic, we require this one. Okay, so if you do this, then you don't need to hassle a lot about HTTP, HTTPS, because Mindshare can control on their end, right? When they generate the code, they can select if they want to make it HTTP or HTTPS, and then Seismic would detect, okay, if it's HTTP, we'll give them HTTP. If it's HTTPS, we'll give them HTTPS. So do it like this is really good, right? Include, download the script in your folder and include it, okay? And also, what do I mean by remote? It's just, the difference is here, right? This is a remote. Because we used to have really short part, right, in your folder. So if you don't want to download Seismic script, and so we have the script host on our servers. So there are two types of protocol. If it's HTTP, then you use this one, right? If it's HTTPS, then you use this one. So you have to write a code to detect on your end, right? So you can implement it like this. I just put it in the same page for you to see the difference. So if it's HTTPS, then you use just this. I'm not sure if people in the back can see. So everybody following me so far? HTTPS? Okay, better not. So anybody want to repeat? Repeat? You need to repeat? Okay, all right. So now, once you have this, right, so what I will do is I will open up a fresh Swift file, okay? And then I'll input Seismic library for your information, for your reference. And I will upload it into the system and then test it, okay? So let's do that. So before anything, let me see my Swift file. Okay. Trang thu vào mạch áo rồi. All right. And what I will do is let me open a reference as well. Swift. Okay, this one. Okay, so here's our code. How do I make it bigger? Okay, so this gets really geek, all right? So for my share and non-coding people, bear with me. I'll try to speak as human as possible. Okay, so this is the Swift file. And the portion that you need to include is actually from this part, right? This part. And so this part would include the EV loader. And do we use local or remote here?
It's local.
Yes, this is local. 1 point go to you. Good job.
Thank you.
So this is local, right? So if you do this, it's really good because it supports both HTTP, HTTPS. You don't need to manually say you want HTTP or HTTPS. And then this part just to declare a seismic event. So in all cases, you need this, right? You need this. And also this is a method whereby you want the banners to be visible. So it includes seismic technology to detect if you want to show the banner already, because by default, when you use seismic, we have technology that detect, wait for publisher to finish loading, and then we will load the ad after, right? So this is just to make sure that the thing would work accordingly. But if you don't have this part, I think it would work most of the time. I think this is more important, right? And for this banner, it's really simple. We have clicks. So they also declare a function that's called this EB click-through, right? So whenever this JavaScript launch, then Seismic will capture click, right, on our end. And this is just to output in the browser console. You don't need this. Okay. So once we have this, here's my Swiftly coding, blah, blah, blah. And okay, in the body part, remember EB, init EB, so it calls in here, in your body part, right? So you put it in here, and also the click-through is here. Yep, click-through. So you need to, the way I normally do it, I would use it with Chrome. So say this banner, right? I put it in Chrome. So this is how the banner looks like. And if I refer to this, right? So it gives me the errors because it's not uploaded yet, okay? And because it's not uploaded. But this is just to refer to that. Because if I hold over the whole banner and to check if the banner is have the click-through implemented, so it's implemented like this. So on click JavaScript, handle banner clicks, right? So get back to our code. So just to repeat again, Swiftly in the back, okay? So you need the JavaScript coding here, all right, JavaScript coding, and then declare it in your body, and then put your click-through in whatever the div ID that you want to make it clickable, okay? So that's so far how it works. I will upload this app for you and then test it out, how it works. Okay. So to upload your HTML file, you always need to zip it, right? Because Seismic would detect your zip file as a workspace, which means that, we know that it's actually one app containing multiple files, right? So I would go to this menu, new, and then create new app, okay? For most of you in this room, you don't use App Builder. This is the way you do it. So after you finish from Google Web Designer, from your script feed, you can create new apps. And then, HTML file, maybe standard banner, or polite banner, up to you. So we have polite, standard, and expand, right? So I'll try with standard banner. HTML file. Give it a name, test app, and browse your zip file in. So I will select. So this Windows here is our asset Windows. Like it looks complicated, but when you log in first time, it will be really clean. It's like your FTP folder, right, where you upload all the file in. So let me create a new folder for this section. Okay, select my folder. So my folder is empty. I will add in my zip file for HTML file 5. Here. So upload. And then, yeah, you get the, it would recognize, detect your zip file as a workspace. So you can browse in this workspace too. If I double click it, this is selecting the workspace. Now you need a default banner too. So you need your zip file and you need a JPEG file, backup zip, right? So I'll use this backup chip, select, okay, and you click through. Maybe go to sizenext.com, save it. Okay, and with name already existed, new. Saving. Okay, so let's preview it. All right, so here's our ad. As usual, you get the panel on the right here. So what you have to check is if you click, okay, spell it wrongly. If I click, see that it register click. So your ad is working fine now, yay. All right, so this is one step. I think another common request would be how to track the video as well, right? So I'll be covering video in later part to how to make your video component register into Seismic. Okay, this is Swiftly. Normally does Swiftly convert video as well? If you build Flash with video in Flash, does it do that? I'm not so sure. All right. Okay, but anyway, but you get the concept, right? So go to Swiftly, export it out, put in the JavaScript. So include, click through, upload it, and then test it. Right? So upload it, you zip it, okay? You zip it. Always have to zip it. If you don't zip it, then our system will not detect it as an ad. Right? So you always need to zip your HTML5 file. I think that's most of the common common things we have in Vietnam as well. That this session we want to address. We have to tell all you guys that always zip your folder, right, before uploading. Okay, and this is how you test it. So now I think that's done. Simple for Swiftly. Any question for Swiftly? No? Cool. So let's move on to Google Web Designer. To be honest, right, for Google Web Designer, I would have hands-on for a while. So let me see the guide how to do it. So if you click to custom header, you know what? Let me build a fresh banner from Google Web Designer, and then try to put inside the script and upload it. Okay. Close. Create from template. It's the web. Change to 15. Let's do a blank form. Test ad. Okay. Now here's my ad. Test ad. And So here is my Google app. Test app. If I expand the folder, always do this. Alright, here's my file. So open in Dreamweaver. So this is what Google gave me, right? A lot of coding. And again, you repeat the same step as Swiftly, right? Include the header and then put in the click to. Do you want me to repeat that for Google Designer? Or you got it already? No repeat, right? Okay. Okay, so we skip, okay? Now I think the last thing here, so we cover Swiftly, we cover Google Web Designer, Adobe Edge would be the same. Yeah, so you export, include the link, library, include all the Seismic API. So the whole list of API I will email you. So just to give you the idea, this is the list of all our APIs, right? So initialize API, click to, this is how you implement click to. Yeah, you can click to, you can expand, expand banner. I think for Vietnam publisher, you might need that a lot because yeah, sometimes you have this size and then expand and you want to collapse, right? And if you have videos, then all the video timer is here, stop timer, and user action counter. This is used when you have two buttons and you need to give MyShare the report that two buttons who click button 1 more than button 2. Because otherwise, if you use just click through, Seismic only see it as one action. But if you have more than one click button or interaction, then when people click on that element, you need to also call this user action counter, right? And you can put in the name of the interaction, right? The name of the interaction. So, for instance, I'll do it quickly. I'll do it in PowerPoint for you to get the idea, right? Okay. So, if you have the banner, and then you have two buttons. So button 1, button 2. And in the report, you want to Seismic to capture a different report, right? Maybe you would say button 1, how many clicks? Button 2, how many clicks? Then you're going to insert the user action counter. So copy this. And you put in the name of the report that you want to. It can be anything, right? And user action counter button 2. You see? All right. So when people click on this element, you call this script. Okay, and people click on this and you call this script. This tool can be anything that you want to output in the report, right? So when you have rich media and then your maybe balloon ads and you want people to, you want to give the report that, hey, if people click on small balloon app, then how many people actually click on the small one? How many people actually click on the bigger one? Right? Then you can use this maybe small balloon and then big balloon. And then in the report, MyShare and you as well can log in and then see seismic report that, hey, how many people actually clicking on the small part and another on the big part. So this is how you use the user action counter. Right? This is very important because to study about seismic, right, it's always include library, click through, and then after click through, you have to learn this to register a different report for different actions. Right? Okay, so this gives you a really good creative insight as well. Okay, so this is about user action counter. Now moving on to video. So how do you make seismic video work without Ad Builder? Outside Ad Builder. Let me see if I have any template for videos. For video ads. Let's look at Ad Builders. Workspace. Okay, so here's our app, right? And with video, let me see how it looks like. So this is the app. It's not built in Ad Builder, right? It's built in other tools. Google Web Designer, whatever you want to build. So this is how it looks like. And this is the coding behind it. Very simple. And this div here is your video. Okay? So basically, right, to make the video work, so you include the library, EB Loader, just one of them, anything. And then you have to initialize these EB modules to load, right? Video and EBCMD, right? That's the parameters. And then when you upload it into the system, it will work. It will work. Video container. So for videos, I'll send you the more implementation detail. So, video implementation detail with non-Ad Builder. Okay. So I think basically, right, for Vietnam market, this is what we have to cover in this session. So Swiftly, I think the basic concept is the same. But the point here I want to give away is be mindful that if you can finish your job with Ad Builder, right, it's a lot faster. You can see it, right? You don't have to input any coding, upload the app, because I haven't covered uploading the app yet. I did upload it, I did preview it. Then normally you have to attach the app too, right? So with Ad Builder, you will skip this step, pull it off. Like this will be only 4 steps, and you don't have to care about HTTPS as well, because it control on my share site with AdBuilder. But if you don't use AdBuilder to use, then when you create apps, you need to make sure that it's local, library including. If it's not local, then you need to ask MindShare that is this publisher HTTP or HTTPS, right? So it's really, you have to be mindful about this. And also on MindShare end, when they generate codes, there will also be taken care about if it should be scientific HTTP or scientific HTTPS, right? So step is much shorter, just to recap on this. And for MindShare, when you generate the code, right? If you want it to be HTTPS, this is where you need to make a checkbox, right? So you go into campaign, tags, and then before you generate the code, you need to make sure that HTTPS serving is checked. When you checked it, it would work on both HTTP page or HTTPS or something, right? We would detect if it's HTTP, we would give HTTP. If it's HTTPS, we would give HTTPS. Yep. So like Jan say, like nowadays, most of the publishers use HTTPS in Vietnam, right? That's really surprised me as well. But yeah, if you have to make it HTTPS, then you do this. Also, tutorial online, like this page, I'll give you the URL. And last but not least is this. Okay. So you need for them to upload with me. Yeah, I just covered it, but I can do it again with them. So for the publishers in the room, I think it is down there. Okay, this one. Just to give you